let's get familiar with the interface of CATIA. So we'll start with the top, the graphics compass and the specification tree. So this is a CATIA model, and on the top we have the compass. This is where you hit 3D to change workbenches. This below is the specification tree. If it's not on, there's a little white arrow that you can click to activate it, or you can hit F3 on your tree. Sorry, F3 on your keyboard. If you have a laptop, you might have to do a function F3, and that will make this specification tree appear and disappear. Down below are the tabs. So if I ask you to go to a specific tab, you want to click on the tab, and then below it are the features inside the tab. When I click a tab, different features appear below that. So again, if I ask you to pick a tab, it's these that have words. Below are the icons that represent the features. Again, this is your compass that you can hit 3D and pick different workbenches. The current workbench I'm in is generative shape design. Generative shape design is a workbench designed for creating wireframe and surfacing. So generative shape design and generative wireframe and surfacing do pretty much the same thing, except that generative shape design will have more features. Part design is where we're going to be starting off with in the intro classes. We'll create simple sketches and make parts. So before you make a part, you'll make a sketch. This will be a profile of what this particular sketch started as, and then we exited the sketch and made a solid from it. Let's see what else I have on this sheet. You're going to go through work tabs, features below, or features are the ones below it, and active model tabs. Okay, so you have different tabs. These are on the bottom of the working tabs, and these are the features below it. Above are tabs, and they identify different models. So this model was a slot, and this is a part, and this is the pieces that it took to make up this slot. If I click on this one, you have an assembly. You see the workbench on top says assembly. We'll go back over here. This is a pad. This is part design workbench. It's working on the solids features last. This one here is a part design. I'm working on the solid features last. And this one here is a toggle clamp assembly we use in the tool design class. These are all the components it took to make this clamp. So if I click on each one, it will highlight them in the tree or in the graphic screen, and you can see which parts they are. Okay, so inside the graphic screen, we're seeing the toggle clamp and the multiple tabs on top. This is a sub-assembly to a mold fixture. So the mold fixture has this piece on top. If I hide it, you can see that there's a gray I-beam on the inside. All right, so this mold fixture was used to build up that I-beam, and then the final assembly will have all the plates here in the C channel attached together to hold it in place, while the I-beam is a composite part that's going to get inside the oven and get baked. All right, so the next thing here is what a drawing looks like. You'll have a border, and you'll have what's called orthographic views, isometric views, and section views. And then this tab here is a example of surfacing. All surfaces go in the geometrical set and are renamed to construction geometry. So geometrical sets will be renamed to construction geometry, which will contain points, lines, planes, surfaces, and so on. Anything that's not actually the solid. So under 3D, I can switch this again. A more advanced surface would probably be done in the generative shape design. So that workbench again is generative shape design. Surfaces are often used to work with solids. In this example, we have a solid being split to a surface. If you look here in the tree, the geometrical set, which should be renamed to construction geometry, is in hide. This is the surface covering up that solid. That surface was used to split the solid so that it would look like this. Okay, so that's what surfaces are used for. Surfaces like this one here are infinitely thin in material. There's no density, therefore there's no volume. Okay, they're just representing the outside skin of something. For example, if you were polishing the hood of your car, the surface that you're touching, that's what this would represent, a surface. All right, so those are the different types of working tabs that you have. They represent different types of models, the tabs on the top. Ooh, I forgot to cover the axis. This axis over here can be moved to manipulate parts. These are your collaborations where you hit the down arrow here. You should have access to your class and training and any other classes you may be taking related to the CATIA classes. Right here you have the plus button. This is where you can import CATIA files. Okay, so if there's a CATIA file from version 5, we can import it here. You have the save command and save with options. So under the file management, it talks about save new, save copy, save new revision, and so on. And you can select multiple models to save. And it'll identify that here. And then the last one here is the help command, which we've gone over some of these, but you can click on these for help. And I think that covers pretty much the graphic screen here. Okay. All right, so that's the interface of your CATIA screens. So what I really expect you to know is when I'm asking you to pick a tab, it's down here. When I'm asking you to pick a feature, it's one of these on the very bottom row that has no words. But if you leave it there for 2 seconds, it will tell you